Today we need to get into people saying that HYBE might be under investigation with something that happened with Spotify, and then we have some people saying that Jung Kook might be leaving the camp with the special someone and what that's about, and then we have people thinking that Jung Kook might get a new piercing in a sensitive area. The boys and the rest of us have had such a hard year and a couple of years lately with a lot of mental health issues, so I think it's important, and you owe it to yourself as well as them, to take care of yourself both physically and mentally. So I want to introduce you to today's sponsor. Today we need to delve into a critical conversation: mental health. It's well known that our boys are advocates for mental health awareness, and one of the best ways we can support them, ourselves, and those around us is by focusing on our mental health and well-being. Therapy can be beneficial for anyone, and I'm excited to share that I've partnered up with BetterHelp to offer you a fantastic discount if you're interested. For those unfamiliar with BetterHelp, it's an online therapy platform that offers services at a fraction of the cost of traditional therapy. The mission is to make therapy accessible to as many people as possible. You begin by completing a questionnaire that covers personal aspects like your gender identity and sexual orientation, essentially any factors that influence your mental health. You'll also answer questions about what you're currently facing, whether it's constant tiredness or overwhelming anxiety. The platform ensures that you're paired with a therapist who genuinely relates to you and understands your struggles. So if you're dealing with issues unique to women, you won't be matched with someone who's unfamiliar with these challenges. Equally important is determining your objectives, allowing your therapist to tailor their approach to your goals. BetterHelp also offers unparalleled flexibility compared to traditional therapy. You can communicate through messages, video calls, or even keep a therapy journal or participate in group sessions if that interests you. They cater to a wide range of needs from teenagers to adults, including couples therapy. By using the link in the description, you can get 10% off your first month. Visit betterhelp.com/dumplings to take advantage of this offer. Give it a try, it's quite affordable, and please thank them for sponsoring today's video. If you're unaware, every time a BTS member gets a tattoo, gets a piercing, or really shows anything of their life, people get very, very, very excited. Now, when Jung Kook shows his tattoos, this is a huge deal because each tattoo represents him and his life and represents what he wants to tell the world. Also, at a time when he was getting his arm sleeve done, each tattoo was showcasing what art he likes and something new that we didn't get to see before. Essentially, once he had finished his arm tattoo, he really didn't add that many tattoos after. And then he has a bunch of tattoos on his hands that represent his love for the community. Some people just love to see these tattoos as they feel like it's a cute little shout out to all of them. It's like if someone you love got a tattoo of you. Now they think that Jung Kook would likely get a tattoo for every new era of his life, given that his new era of his life right now would be the military. Some people think that he might get a tattoo to represent that. And for some reason it was trending or talked about online that he might get a nip piercing. Now I have no idea how many people who leave the military end up getting a specific piercing like that, or if they end up getting any at all. I think of course it's interesting to get a piercing or a tattoo after you do something monumental, and a lot of people end up doing it after they go to prison. And then of course military could be one of them, but I don't know if he would actually add on anything. This also kind of implies something that I find a little irritating, which is that people assume that he has a lot of time, and I think one of the biggest things that people who are famous, people who are successful, and people who are just doing a lot don't have is time. And so he's really just probably not going to be sitting there thinking about what tattoo he wants, especially if he feels like his arm tattoo is complete, which I'm sure he does think that. Now, would he get a piercing like that? I don't know, because the chances of him probably getting a piercing could be pretty high, because even just for a comeback, he ended up getting a eyebrow piercing. But ultimately, I don't know if he would get a piercing unless he plans on showing it off, which would be interesting if he decides to show it off, that type of nip piercing. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't know if it's possible, but at the same time, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Now, something that was very interesting that happened that was getting a lot of backlash was that people were saying that HYBE and Spotify need to be under investigation. Now, they aren't actually under investigation right now, and for no specific reason they would be. But people like to throw on accusations and accuse companies of things that seemingly seem illegal and accuse them of needing to be looked into. I want to specify that if you accuse a public figure or company of doing something illegal that clearly they've never done, then that is illegal, by the way. Like, that is something that you will pay a big fine for, or you will face criminal charges for. So what are the accusations that we are seeing online today? Well, there were some people who were saying that anytime they play a song and at the end of the song that they play, it loops into an artist that they don't really care for. And then other people are saying that no matter what song they play, it goes back to this same group, and that specific group is someone who is within HYBE. So now they're basically accusing the label of partnering with Spotify so that every time people listen to the song, it promotes their new girl group. And I want to say that this is highly illegal. And the reason why people think that this is even a possibility is because they think artists like Jung Kook are participating in payola. And I'm here to say payola is not what you think it is. Payola is not paying for ads. Payola is not the label paying YouTube or Google a little bit of money so that YouTube or Google can play the music video in front of other videos. That is not payola, and that is not something that's considered illegal. That's like saying McDonald's participates in payola because they have commercials that you see on TV. However, forcing an app to almost go against people's free will and playing something against their free will that is like not an ad, I don't know if that's legal, but it's not great. And I feel there could be a lawsuit with that if that were true, but I don't think that that actually ever happens, because the truth of the matter is, if the label was paying Spotify to do that, wouldn't the girl group be played after every single song that was played? So like every single person, no matter what genre they listen to, would be forced to listen to this new girl group. However, for me, as someone who listens to both American and K-pop music, I don't always get K-pop recommended to me right after a song. Sometimes I get Western music recommended to me. So the issue that I was seeing that people were talking about was not an issue that I was getting, which shows me that it's not because they're forcing a song to be played, but it's because that song is relevant to what Spotify thinks the listener wants to hear. Social media platforms and whatever run off an algorithm that tries to predict what you want to see next or what you want to listen to next. And clearly, if you're someone like me who doesn't just listen to K-pop, I'm going to get a mixture of recommendations. In fact, I don't only just listen to Western music, but I also listen to screamo, rock, and all of the things. So of course, I had no idea that this was an issue. And I'm sure a lot of people watching probably had no idea that this was an issue that was being talked about. However, these are issues that are happening, and then people accuse the label of participating in terrible things. This is definitely not something that people should be upset about. And if you are upset with specific songs being recommended to you, then click and listen to something else. Or a lot of media platforms have a refresh your feed thing. And if you just like delete your cache or delete something that shows like what you've listened to before, then you'll be able to kind of reset everything and your recommendations will be reset. Now, there was a recent video that went viral that was kind of actually funny. A little while ago, Suga had his concert and he was, I think, one of the only ones. I think J-Hope did too, but I'm not entirely sure, but I think Suga was the only one that ended up having a bit of a world tour. Anyway, after the documentary, it was believed that the members Jung Kook and V left the stadium after one of the shows, and so they went to see it and then they left before the concert was over. And the reason why they do that is because of safety. They don't want to leave while everyone else is leaving, so they leave before. Now, there's a lot of people within that community that want V and Jung Kook to be dating. They say that the two left together because of more romantic reasons, and others say that the two are going to leave together after the military enlistment is over. People are saying that the two were quote-unquote lovers are going to leave together at the camp, and I think that this is very funny and interesting to say because I don't know where this exactly comes from. Now, the two are likely going to depart at the same time, and just because they are enlisted around the same time, that doesn't mean that the two are being intimate when they leave, or that there is any intimacy happening right when they leave. People have a wild imagination, and you know what? That's cool too, because it gives me something to talk about here. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks, just leave a comment right here. Love you, bye.